Hey y'all, it's Monique with Grace and Tattered Lace. Let's make a cute little whimsical birdhouse on this breadboard. I'm using Dixie Belle paint products, but any paint product will do. One that is very similar to the color I'm using is Sheepskin by Folk Art. I went ahead and painted the board completely and then made sure that it was dry using my heat tool. Now we're going to use another paint product by Dixie Belle. A color that is very similar to this is Navy by Folk Art. Navy uniform, I think, maybe. I just went ahead and painted this little birdhouse. I'm sorry that it's not showing that great. I didn't realize my camera didn't have that birdhouse in the lens. But I did just paint that, dry it with the heat tool again, and now I'm using some Folk Art. I think this is called Parisian. It's a gray color, and we're going to paint the little openings for the birds, the little circles. I just love this cute little birdhouse. It's very whimsical to me. And now I'm just trying to figure out what I wanted to do with that brim and the back of that board. I'm using this stencil that I got on Amazon. I'll put the link to this stencil in the comments if you're interested in that stencil. This is a reusable but not a stickable kind. So I did use some painter's tape to tape that down and hold it in place. Now I'm just using a stenciling brush and doing the stippling technique. And the openings on this stencil are quite small. And my surface was rather big, so I decided I'm going to try my sponge roller and see how that works. I was just being impatient. I probably could have done the stencil brush, but, you know, I don't have patience sometimes. Anyway, I think it turned out pretty darn good. Set that to the side. I got to make sure I clean it because I always forget. But anyway, look at how cute this is looking already. I just used some black paint by Folk Art again for that edges. Oh my goodness, you guys. I got myself a new toy. I got one of these rotary hand saws. It is a pluggable kind. You do plug it in, but it's pretty stinking awesome. It sanded the edges off of that really quick, and I love the look that it gave it. You can see how fast it goes. It literally was blowing things around to my craft room, little papers and things that were not secured down. We're flying all over the place. Anyway, and Kevin was mad because he couldn't hear the TV. Anyway, I love it. We'll have to try it on a live. It is rather loud, though. Anyway, now I'm using another paint by Dixie Belle. This one was Vintage Duck, I believe. And I'm sorry, I can't give you one that's similar because I didn't have one that was similar. And I'm using that same off-white color by Dixie Belle. I think this was called Buttercup on the brim of that birdhouse, the roofing edge. And I'm using that same sander to sand that down, you guys. It's pretty awesome. I won't lie. Anyway, I think it just turned out super cute. I at first attempted to do like a stained brown color, but I didn't like it. So I decided to paint it white and give it that very worn look. Okay, now we're just going to make a little bow. I'm going to use my Bow Dabra bow maker. For those of you that are unfamiliar with this tool, it is called Bow Dabra. You can get it at Michael's, Walmart, Joann's. Oh, Joann's is no longer going to be with us very shortly. Hobby Lobby and Amazon. And for those of you that are impatient and don't have time to get to the store, Amazon's a great option. I'm just going to layer a couple different fabrics here. I won't show you the whole process of making this bow because it can get long sometimes. But I'm using some, I don't remember what kind of fabric that was. It's a very sheer fabric that I got at Joann's, and I wish I'd gotten more now that they're leaving us. I'm just going to layer a couple different options of ribbon here and create our little bow. Okay, now I'm just putting a clear coat of wax down, covering the whole surface. It really helps make the dark wax go on a little bit smoother. It also gives a little bit of a protection. So I put wax on and then I buffed it in using that little makeup buffer pad from Dollar Tree. Now I'm also using some Dixie Belle wax, dusting wax in the color of brown and just kind of going around the edges just a little bit. Not the whole all the edges, just kind of slightly, just give it that worn look. And by applying that clear wax ahead of time, it really helps make it a lot easier for that wax to kind of pick up in the areas that you want. I'm just using my finger just to kind of smudge it. Now we're going to put our bow on. We'll add some greenery. And look at how cute that is looking already, you guys. I just love it. I'm just kind of tucking the greenery into my little bow, finding the best options. I'm very sorry for this camera angle, you guys. Apparently I'm out of practice. I haven't given you guys a video in a while, and I didn't do very good this time, and I apologize for that. Just using a little variation of greenery just to give it a different effect. We'll add a little button there into the top of that, and just messing with that little piece of greenery there. I'm just putting some glue right on the edges of the stems and then kind of tucking it in to my bow. Okay, now we'll just add the bird. I did make a little tag. Apparently I cut that part out. I just used a little piece of paper bag. I cut it, stamped it with the word tweet, added a little bit of wax and some black ink, crumpled it up and made it look super cute. But there we go, sweet friends. I hope that you enjoyed it. This kit is available on the website, graceandtatteredlace.com. I hope that it inspires you to make something fun. Thanks for watching.